Surviving infidelity. Almost 2 years after, affair partner is back and I got police involved. Last year in May, my 31 male wife, 30 female, revealed that she was seeing another man that she met at her friend's birthday party in January. She said, they just talked for most of the party and she didn't plan on seeing him again. But he got her number from her friend. She said that after numerous times he asked, she agreed to go out for coffee with him and nothing happened, so she continued seeing him until they ended up in his place and they ended up having us. She continued to see him every other weekend, and admitted she'd been to his place about 8 or 9 times. But before learning all that, I confronted her cause I saw she took a pregnancy test. She hid the box in the bottom of the garbage, but I always empty the bin upside down rather than changing the bag. By the way, I had a vasectomy. When I confronted her, she started crying and promised me she already ended the affair a few weeks ago. Kept crying she was sorry and she will do anything. It got to a point she started having an anxiety attack, and I just don't know why she would do that if she didn't want to ruin our marriage. I demanded proof she ended it and she showed me the last texts, which at least did confirm she did tell him she can't see him anymore. That night, I got drunk as I was so enraged, I wouldn't have been able to sleep. The next day she wouldn't leave my side, but I was angry and wanted space. I left to my dad's for about a month. In that time, she called me every day, sent me poems and love emails. At the same time, I drove by her house to see if she was actually there and there were no other cars, so I still cared. Well, after a month apart I agreed to move back with her and start reconciliation, with some rules that she keeps a GPS app on her phone telling me where she is at all times. Extreme maybe, but she broke my trust and didn't know what else to do if we were going to fix this. She had no problems with anything, and seemed nothing more than to want to fix this. 1 year later, I can say we have been closer than ever and I realized some of my own shortcomings, not to excuse what she did, but I think we reached a point where we are both happy and satisfied. Of course, I will maybe always hold a grudge knowing that she had an affair, but when we are both happy, I seem to be able to keep that grudge in the very back of my mind and just accept that what happened, happened, and it's best to not dwell on it. Now, last week she told me that he, affair partner, messaged her, asking how she was doing. She did not reply. He texted her again asking, "Miss me?" She told me about the texts and didn't reply to him. I got very angry that he was texting my wife and I already knew what he wanted. I texted him from my phone telling him to get lost. I used much harsher and semi-threatening words. He replied, "Oh really? Scared I'll plow your wife again? She said you had a small D and all." I became so freaking angry I threw my phone up against the wall. My wife is promising me, she did not say that, and that he's just angry that she doesn't want him. At this point I don't know what to believe. But I blocked his number. Then I got a message on Facebook from my non-contacts list. It was him using a burner account, and he sent me a photo of my wife in what I'm guessing is his place, and her on his couch. Then he sent me a video file which I knew I didn't want to see, but I clicked it anyway, and it was a video of her performing oral on him. I couldn't watch past a few seconds. I felt like I got hit by a freaking train. I feel all the progress I made with my wife is back to square one. I can't look her in the eyes anymore without thinking about what she did. I knew that this happened before, but to actually see it? I feel effing humiliated and emasculated. I called the cops on this guy and they are investigating him. They tell me he can be charged for defamation and harassment. I hate this guy. Everything was going so well. Yesterday morning I was getting up for work and after showering and getting dressed, I broke down, crying like a freaking baby and collapsing on the floor. My wife came to my aid and held me, but this is the same woman who broke me. At this point, I was enjoying what we had, before affair partner's messages came, but after what I saw, I don't know how long it will take me to get over this. That grudge in my mind has gotten so much bigger, and it may be unsustainable in this relationship. Need advice. Now for the top advice of this post. Damn, man. I know others will have all types of advice to give, just wanted to say sorry. After all the work you did to get over this is messed up. Same brother, this is freaking brutal. I am so sorry. My wife had me watch our children so she could go sleep with her affair partner, but this is on another level with the video stuff. I am so sorry. I don't have advice outside of, do what's going to make you happy. You owe your wife nothing. She gave up lifelong loyalty when she stepped out on you. If being with her is best for you, stay. If it isn't, freaking leave. All the best, man. He recorded it. She knew about that, presumably. In my opinion, that's very bad already. Even if she came to regret it later, be it the affair, the recording, or both, the damage is already done to you. If you can't shake the feeling off, it might be better to end things. As others have said, though, do try going to therapy first. Don't trust any stranger you see on the internet, and instead see what your therapist thinks about it after a few sessions. See what results from going to therapy. Mull over the thoughts and decide whether it's better to continue the relationship. Absolutely in agreement. You will never be able to get the thoughts of them out of your head. The images will play in a loop in your mind over and over again. I found a Google Drive of my ex with videos, pics and love letters. I was literally sick for months. The only thing that helps is time, therapy, and for me, magic mushrooms. You have PTSD and it needs to be treated for you to heal. Whether you work things out with your wife or not, is up to you. My ex was the sole source of my trauma, so I had to leave her to heal myself. Infidelity was a deal breaker for me. Good luck. I have a voice-activated recording of my wayward spouse and his affair partner, after hours in his office. Can't unhear that. Trying though. I kind of realized that even after the first reconciliation, but I loved her so much and I still love her. I was able to create new memories with her until those thoughts began to diminish, to an extent. As much as it hurts, what kept me moving forward with her, is knowing that even with their affair, truth is she made mistakes and bad judgment, but she did not plan what happened. In the end she wanted me, not him, and she was willing to abide by some rules that made it nearly impossible to repeat it again without me knowing. With the new memories, we went to Hawaii and had the best time ever, renting out a cabin near the sea. This was after her affair and during our reconciliation. Since that time, she has stayed loyal to me. I ultimately don't want to throw it all away because of her affair partner wanting to break us up. I mean, he succeeded in hurting me, there is zero doubt about that. But I don't want to throw all that progress away. You are just making excuses for her. It wasn't mistakes or bad judgment. It was intentional actions that happened multiple times, and she did plan it happening each and every time. Even recorded it. She had no respect for you or for the marriage. That's what stands out to me. She let herself get filmed? That soon? Classy. Please understand one thing. If this all goes south, it isn't because of the affair partner who tries to throw a wedge between you, it is because of what your wife decided to do. She allowed him to film her and take pictures of her. She knew that he might use them for more than just self-pleasure. What affair partner did there was wrong, but it is not his fault that you are struggling. That is because of what your wife did. First you need to understand what is damaged and who is responsible for the damage before you can start to repair it. If affair partner has forced her to anything, then please ignore my post. You're an investor whose investment has already lost him $1 million, but is persuading himself that it's going to come back around and end in the green, because he's already invested too much and doesn't want to admit he lost. Now for the second story. My wife of 12 years has cheated 6 times. My wife and I have been married for 12 years and we have a 9-year-old son together. Everything was great for the first 6 years, until she started cheating. Her infidelity started small with her flirting with guys over Facebook Messenger, and that progressed into esting with them. After about a year of the esting, is when she physically cheated with a guy she met through Facebook. At the time I trusted her 100%, and when she met this guy, she asked me if I was okay with them hanging out. And since she was a stay-at-home mother with no real friends, I didn't have a problem with it, until this other guy's girlfriend messaged me and told me she thought they were sleeping together because she found a C wrapper in the trash, and her and the boyfriend didn't use protection. I confronted my wife and she told me they were not sleeping together, and the guy put the wrapper in the trash on purpose so that his girlfriend would find it and break up with him. Of course, that ended up being a lie. When I found out the truth, my wife broke down crying and begged me to stay, but I left and went to stay with family for about 2 weeks until we decided to work things out. Things went back to being pretty good for about a year, until she started cheating on me with an old ex-boyfriend of hers. I found out when he got mad at her, because she told him she would not leave me for him, and he messaged me telling me everything. The third time she cheated was with the clerk that works at a gas station down the road from us. I found out because I found a positive pregnancy test hidden in our bathroom, and at the time my wife and I hadn't been intimate in over a year due to her cheating. The guy that got her pregnant started threatening to harm her if she didn't have a termination, but she ended up having a miscarriage after a few weeks. There were 2 other guys after the pregnancy that I didn't find out about, until I found out about the 6th guy, which was about a month ago. What hurts the most isn't her having sex with these guys, it's the fact she was telling them how much she loves them, planning their wedding and planning to have babies with these guys. It wasn't just Tess, she was in a full-blown relationship with them. Most of the guys broke up with her because they realized she would never leave me. I know I am an absolute idiot for still being with her, but I have tried to leave so many damn times, and every time, she literally begs me to stay. I have even brought home divorce papers filled out and ready for her to sign. I offered to stay married to her and continue to support her just so I could get away from her, but she still begged me not to leave. She tells me she loves me and I'm the only person she wants to be with, but her actions say otherwise. Having a child with her makes things 1,000 times harder. Sorry for the long post. I don't really know why I decided to post it because I know what I need to do, but I guess it feels nice being able to vent. Now for the top comments. At this point, she's not really cheating on you anymore. You're in a one-sided open marriage and you're condoning her non-monogamy by staying. Absolutely. She knows there's no consequences to her cheating, so she's never going to change her behavior. Exactly, OP, you need to get a backbone and tell her it's over. The only reason why she hasn't left you is because of the financial stability you give her. These guys are just bums, someone to keep her excited. If you're not going to leave her, then stop acting like a doormat and make her respect you again. Stop letting her walk all over you. Wow, she has manipulated you into accepting your life as a perpetual BS. You may not have noticed, but she has slowly taken away your dignity, values, and self-worth, and you have proven that she can continue to cheat on you without any repercussions. You are the primary source of income and you are giving her the time and funds to cheat, and she will cheat. I don't know if she will even put in much efforts to hide it from you anymore. I doubt she will even give you that respect. Leaving a cheating significant other is hard because no one wins. You obviously love your wife and she may even love you, but she doesn't respect you. I guess the only question now is, how much do you respect yourself? You are correct. She is a very good manipulator. She knows exactly what to say and when to say it, to make me believe what she is saying and to make me believe she will change. Then if you are aware of these traits, it's time to regard the fact she is going to always be doing this. It's time to go to DEFCON 3 and launch that ICBM. Most of the guys broke up with her because they realized that she would never leave me. Not true at all, OP. Most of the guys will have discarded her because they didn't want a woman with loose knicker elastic around the house. And they probably wanted to find some other woman who was more of a challenge. You've got to get those colored specks off, OP, and see things for what they actually are. Good luck. I said that, not because it is what I believe, but because one of the times she was begging me not to leave, she showed me the messages from 3 of the guys that literally told her that. Now for the last story. Girlfriend cheated on me 5 months into our relationship. I, 22 male, been seeing this girl, 21 male, for close to 3 years now, but only made our relationship official in March 2018. During the summer of 2018 we were long distance while I was working in another country for 2 months. Fast forward to today, we have a very strong relationship and things seem to be going great, or so I thought. She was always quick to introduce me to her family and friends, and kept talking about building a life together, getting married and having children. All of this gave me no reason to distrust her, as every aspect of our relationship seemed perfect. However, recently she was talking about how she often goes and smokes weed with a guy that lives near her, and told me that they used to hook up, back before she met me. I found this very suspect and when given an opportunity, looked through her phone to read the messages between them. I know this is sleazy, but something really did seem suspect. Lo and behold, I see that they'd been hooking up while I was overseas in the summer of 2018. This was 6 months after we made things official. I don't think they've hooked up since. The chat logs got more infrequent after 2018 November, but they still smoke together occasionally. I'm just left so confused. She always seemed very invested in our relationship. I don't know if this was just a one-off, while we were still figuring out where our relationship stood, because everything else she's done since raised no red flags. Honestly, she let me look through her phone whenever I wanted, always showed enthusiasm during our dates, showed great interest in meeting my family, etc. I don't know what to do. If I break up with her, I would also be cutting ties with 70% of my social circle. So not only would I be losing her, I would also lose some great friends I made. I have not brought this up with her yet. I'm trying to approach this situation rationally. What do I do? How could I proceed? Is this relationship salvageable? Now for the top advice. Do not marry this person. 6 months officially into a relationship is smack dab in the middle of the honeymoon phase, when she should have butterflies in her belly just from thinking about you. If she was banging this guy while in that phase, can you imagine what shenanigans she will be up to 12 years into a marriage, when routine has set in and she's mad at how you chew your food or who you arrange stuff in the dishwasher? Take it from an older dude, this is 1000% accurate. This behavior is very telling. She didn't even have the decency to be honest with you. Oh, and the "I didn't want to hurt you" excuse is just protecting herself from consequences. She does not value your relationship. She says all the right things, but don't listen to words, listen to actions. And her actions have told you everything you need to know. You deserve better. 6 months after you were official wasn't a mistake, those were decisions, and the fact that she still hangs out and smokes weed with the guy would be a deal breaker. If she had realized it was a bad idea to keep around the guy she cheated with, it might be different. But she's continued to lie to you about him and their involvement. You'll always be wondering what she's doing when they're together. Especially now that you know how casually she'll lie to you. I know it's difficult since you've got so much invested, friends, but you're young and spending your life together with someone who cheated and lies so easily means trust will never be there. It's your decision, but if you stay, don't be surprised when she betrays you again. So sorry, my friend. As others have stated, y'all should have been honeymooning still at 6 months. Also, if she still smokes with him occasionally, you can bet your whole paycheck they still sleep together occasionally. Not sure why you think you would lose 70% of your friends if you're dumping someone who's cheating on you, but if they do leave your life, they weren't really that good of friends to begin with. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. Turn the notification on to get updated on my latest posts. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day, everyone.